welcome into the remix. I'm Courtney Cole. Get comfortable because we have a lot ahead for you this week on the remix. Let's start on the South Shore. Okay, we've got this retail trailblazer, this South Shore woman changing the landscape of shopping and how you can benefit from it. Plus, we get a visit from Davio's, one of my favorites. The owner, Steve DeFilippio, shows us how to make the restaurant's signature meatballs. And the best Christmas gifts in March. Yep, we get started early around here. We'll show you the top toys being shown off this year at Toy Fair. But first, it's time for some decadent desserts on Restaurant Row.
Joining us now are the head chef, Rosette Aquino, and head baker, Arthur Hebert, from La Con Paris Patisserie. And thank you so much for joining us. You were telling me La Con is a city in Thailand, and Paris. Those two cities are where your owner trained in this beautiful pastry. So first of all, when guests come in, you're in Newton, Brookline, the seaport, and Brighton. Here nearby in Brighton.
Yes.
What can guests expect when they come in? Because these are beautiful.
Yeah, well, a lot of things to expect, you know. Of course, our specialty is croissant, and this is our baby.
Yes.
Yeah, we offer a lot of varieties of flavor, and we change menus every month. And
so you have
lots
the beautiful
of things
pistachio
to enjoy
here.
And to look forward like that. So we have our pistachio croissant here, which are special.
Yeah.
And of course, our plain croissant.
But then these are amazing. They're charcoal. And so there's just a little bit of charcoal dust inside?
So it's made from charcoal dust. So we mix it like that. So it became dark like this.
So let's talk about the croissants. And Arthur, what goes into making a perfect croissant?
A perfect croissant, let's say, is a lot of, first of all, passion, because a good croissant takes at least 24 hours to make. So you need to let the dough rest for a good 24 hours before you get into the laminating process. And the laminating process is when you insert the butter, which we order from France, so it's very good quality butter.
Oh, so it's French butter.
It's French butter, so it has a specific greasy material to it that American butter just doesn't really have.
Right. And interesting, do you keep it at room temperature on the countertop?
No, so we keep them in the fridge because the butter has to be kind of cold, because if it's too warm, the butter won't really integrate into the dough, it'll melt inside.
Interesting, so the temperature of the butter is crucial.
Yeah, and the dough as well, so to have the nice even layers like we see on the croissant, we can see the little layers falling apart.
And that beautiful golden crust. And Rosette, you know, yours are so big, they look just incredible. Is there a proper way to eat one? You know, people tend to tear them.
It's how to enjoy your croissant. You know, people love it, and people love us. We are a fast-growing company around in Boston. Yeah. So we have 4 locations right now, as mentioned a while ago.
So you can go into each one and try a different croissant when you're there.
Exactly.
But do you recommend tearing them into small pieces? Should they be cut?
No, I'd say more tearing, because that's the way I'm used to. You can also dip it in a delicious coffee as well, which is the perfect combination.
Could do that. I love the ones with the raspberries here too. Okay, so we are going to learn about how to decorate some of the croissant. All right, let's focus on how you make this beautiful charcoal croissant, and it's savory.
It is. It's savory. So we're going to start off with a bit of savory cream cheese that we have right here. So it starts with a base of savory cream cheese that we bake with the croissant dough. And then once it's baked and cooled down, we're going to add more savory cream cheese, a bit of tomato jam, some squid and couscous, and some jalapeno peppers.
Wow. Now, so the croissant batter has a little bit of charcoal dust in it. That's what gives it the black appearance.
It does. So we mix the dough together with the charcoal dust.
So as you're decorating it and showing me, just talk me through. So it has like a little bit of a smoky flavor?
So it has that kind of charcoal-y kind of smokiness to it, which is very good.
People who love that. How did you possibly come up with this combination?
A lot of it is just browsing on Instagram and seeing some videos and getting some of that information.
Seeing what other people like.
Exactly.
The combinations.
And I know that charcoal was very famous and is kind of specific.
But then also this with the cream cheese and then the tomato and squid ink, which I know is squid ink pasta is so popular.
It is.
In Italy. This is amazing.
So then we're going to add a couple drops.
Okay.
If it wants to come out.
Sure,
we have.
It doesn't want to come out.
No, that's right.
This is very.
It's afraid.
This is nice. There we go.
Beautiful.
So we add 3 little points to it.
Right. Great.
There we are.
Nice.
That we're going to put here. And then we just put a couple of these squid in couscous, which is very delicious.
Must be delicious.
So we place them in an orderly fashion.
Almost looks like caviar.
It does.
Yeah.
And we like to put a decent amount just because we like good food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we come and we place our little jalapeno peppers that we bake.
For a little heat on top.
Exactly, to get the little spiciness to it.
That will gonna give a little bit of challenge. You know?
That's an amazing bite.
There we are.
I mean, just beautiful. All right, we're going to try that later. But Rosette, now you're going to decorate your really beautiful pistachio. Okay. The pistachio, which is always a fan favorite.
So this one is a pistachio croissant. We're gonna flavor it with pistachio filling, mascarpone base.
So what gives the
We're gonna
green
cut-
color to the gel here on the outside?
Caramel.
So the caramel.
Yeah, caramel.
With
You
green.
brush it with caramel so that it will gonna give an appetizing look.
Yes, yeah, that's also perfect for St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is
So
great.
cut
If you're
it in the
tired of green
middle.
bagels, you can come get a
Nice green
pistachio
croissant. Exactly.
Yeah. And this consists of what?
This one is a pistachio mascarpone that I mentioned a while ago. So let's pipe inside. Let's fill it in.
Put a lot of cream.
Add more
lot of
cream
mascarpone.
generously.
Delish.
Yeah. So
And then just because you need more on top.
yeah,
And this is a praline.
I'm gonna put the chopped
Oh, nice.
pistachio
Okay.
toasted on
Add
top.
those.
A little
Nice.
bit, and this one on top.
Wow.
I mean, just
Make it bigger.
a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Pour on as much as possible.
Yeah, I love this.
The
Oh my
praline
gosh.
is delicious.
Yeah. So you pipe it over the pistachio croissant.
And pistachio is a very specific flavor. I think you either love it or you hate it.
It's very
It is.
famous.
But
indeed.
yeah, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
that is gorgeous. We can take a shot of it. There is your pistachio croissant. Okay, now, the last thing that I've heard that you are famous for is a
Yeah.
tiramisu latte, which sounds divine. How do you make
Yes.
that? So
So
this is an
here-
espresso.
Yeah, espresso, cold ice. Pour it
Nice.
on the ice.
Okay. People are religious about their coffee.
They are, yes.
People love coffee,
Oh, nice.
right?
And this is
You pour it on top.
This is the
of
tiramisu cream,
filling, which
yes.
consists of what?
It's a tiramisu mascarpone, heavy cream. Yeah, combination.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and coffee Baileys.
Nice.
It's very flavorful.
Very flavor. So that
Yeah,
flavor
lots of
is
flavor.
definitely there with your coffee. And then, of course, you have the lady fingers.
Of course.
Lady finger on top.
On top.
Voila, that's it.
Beautiful. Well, that is gorgeous. Beautiful to bring for a friend or go
Yeah.
if you're having a really special coffee. That
Exactly.
is gorgeous. Well, thank you so much for showing
You're
us
welcome.
your works of art. Head chef Rosette Aquino and head baker Arthur Hebert from La Con Paris Patisserie. And happy spring. Thank you so much.
Happy
Thank you
spring
for
to
having
everyone.
us.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Happy spring.
having us here.
Well, if you weren't craving dessert before, you are now. Coming up on the remix, a South Shore woman changing the game when it comes to retail. A new way to shop at your favorite spots in and around Boston and how you can save money. We love that. Find deals and more. Now, we can't wait to introduce you to this next woman. She's a trailblazer in the world of loyalty and rewards. And now a South Shore woman is changing the way that you shop at your favorite stores. Paula Eben shows us how she's creating a retail revolution.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good to see you.
Andrea McCullough is no stranger to the street in Chestnut Hill.
Thank you guys so much. We're so happy to have you in the Insider app.
Not only is she a customer,
I love Tom Ford too.
she's the brains behind a new partnership between Shops at the Street and the company that owns the property, WS Development.
So the first event that we have on our list for the street is Sweets at the Street dessert crawls.
What about Legacy Place?
McCullough's the director of loyalty and customer relationship management at WS, pioneering a new app called The Insider that could transform the way you hunt for deals.
At WS, we are using technology for shoppers to experience our properties in a whole new way. We are introducing a new currency in points so that shoppers can easily earn and then reward themselves on property.
Hi, welcome to Shake Shack.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you today?
I'm good.
Do you have the Street Insider app?
I actually do, yeah. And I have a
Awesome.
reward for Shake Shack that I like to redeem today.
Awesome.
From Shake Shack to Polka Dog Bakery and beyond, McCullough says shoppers can earn points in a few easy steps by downloading the app, adding a credit card, and spending money at participating stores. Those points can then be redeemed at the same shops in $5, $10, $20, and $50 values.
Here you are.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
Incentivizes you to be able to get discounts on items that brands themselves don't even discount.
You could be enjoying a manicure on one side of the property, swipe that card, earn points, and then start to convert them over to rewards to redeem on another side of the property.
And this isn't the first time McCullough's had a home run with her app innovation. She also oversaw the very successful Dunkin' brand's DD Perks app.
That program quickly became one of the fastest growing in the industry, and we grew active membership into the millions.
And now McCullough hopes to do the same with the Insider app, all while inspiring young women to dream big and keep a close eye on the numbers.
Make sure that you focus on building your quantitative skills. So much of our jobs are really looking at our performance and analyzing data.
Right now, the Insider app can also be used at Boston Seaport, Derby Street Shops, and Legacy Place, with 10 more slated for this year and beyond. Paula Eben, WBZ News.
All right, so let's do this a really quick review, okay? We've introduced you to some decadent desserts. Now you're going to be a savvy shopper. And now it's time for New England's favorite meatball, still to come on the remix. The owner of Davio shows us how to cook one from scratch and tips for making them right at home.
When it comes to food, it doesn't get much more Italian than a good meatball. And today we welcome Steve DiFilippo, the CEO of Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse. Steve, anyone who's watching this who's been to Davio's knows how good your meatballs are.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable, our meatballs. You know, it's funny, we didn't have meatballs until maybe 20 years ago. The original Davio's, I didn't want to do meatballs because it's more of an American Italian thing, you know? Plus my mom made the meatballs and I wanted to do different things. And then about 20 years ago, everyone was making meatballs all around the country, like Wolfgang Puck, and it became a big thing. So we started making meatballs. I went to my mom, got the recipe, we kind of played with it a little bit, and now it's our #1 appetizer. We sell more meatballs than anything. It's absolutely insane. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to make the mix. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we do. Now, it's really about technique, and so what we do is, this is Kobe, American Kobe. So the reason we use Kobe, you know, it just has so much more flavor than regular hamburger. You know, and it's just more intense. You know, so we really like that.
You have 3 different types of meat that you put.
Yeah. So then we take the veal, and veal actually adds a tenderness to it. And then, of course, pork has a little more flavor. So you don't have to use pork. I mean, a lot of our guests, some people don't want pork in it, but we really like the 3 meats. And it's a third, a third, a third. So it's really important. So we just kind of mix this around. And then the big thing is we take the onions and we actually caramelize them and add a little garlic. I like garlic roasted, because if you put fresh garlic in there, it's too garlicky. You know, Italians don't use a lot of garlic. It's kind of a myth here in America that they think Italians use a lot of garlic. It's really not true. And then what we do is we take our focaccia crumbs and we add milk to them. Very important, because the milk is going to tenderize the meat. So this is a real technique thing that my mom and my grandmother taught me.
It's relatively simple though. I mean, you're using pretty minimal ingredients.
Yeah, but the milk really is important to tenderize it. So then we add this into there. Okay.
Wow, I'm obsessed with those onions, by the way, because you also have them on the sides of your steaks and stuff.
If we had smell television right now, people
would die.
And then we add fresh basil, okay, and of course you got to have eggs, because eggs binds everything together. So we had 3 eggs in there, okay, and then of course our cheese. So this is our mix, very important. Okay. We use half Romano and half Parmesan. So the Romano has that sharpness to it, and the Parmesan is very fruity. So we really like that. And of course you have to add salt and pepper. You know, it's another thing that I just noticed that people at home, they just don't use enough salt and pepper when they cook. Really important to add salt and pepper. It really brings it all together.
I can't believe, though, I mean, this is actually something we can make at home pretty easily.
Oh, now that's it. Now you just kind of mix this. That's why I'm wearing gloves. You just mix this all together. Yep. Now, this is another tip. You want to make this the night before you cook, because you want this to sit in the refrigerator overnight so it really comes together. Very, very important. You could make this today in the morning and then cook in the afternoon, but we feel like it's better to make it the night before. In fact, guess what I have?
What?
I have another version right here.
Gosh.
This is like Julia Child.
Look at this.
So just
Where
look
did
at the
that come from?
See the difference? This was made yesterday. Okay. And this was made today, just now, right?
Yeah.
See the difference in how this is more together.
I'm sure the flavor too is kind of seeped into the meat and everything.
It's kind of like lasagna or something you make. Usually the next day is better than the first day, you know. So.
What a great thing to do to prep too if you have a party or a holiday or something. This is such a special thing you could make to really wow people and prep it the night before.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add a little oil here to the pan. Now, what you can do, my mom used to cook them in the pan. My grandmother, Nana, would cook them in a pan, but we actually cook them in sheet pans now. We cook them in the oven. And I find it a lot healthier to do it that way. Yeah. You just put them, just go like this, okay? And then you just put them in a sheet pan and put them in the oven.
Easy.
Yeah, really easy. They come out great. I mean, obviously this is just the way, you know, I was taught back in the day. And, you know, so we just do this. And the big thing is to me, you know, a lot of people know how to make meatballs. They have their own technique. These are the things that I think is important. The focaccia with the milk.
Yeah, that's special.
Making it the night before. And the third thing, after you cook them, is you take sauce. You take your Italian tomato red sauce, and you cook them in the sauce for 3 hours after you cook them. And
wow.
Yeah, so after we do this, okay, I'm trying to...
Now, I'm sure this sauce has some good secret stuff in it, too.
Well, you know, it's actually very simple. If you use really good Italian tomatoes, you don't really have to do a lot to it. It has a little fresh basil in it, a little onion, salt and pepper. It's really simple, and that's right there. So So
I know. I have the honor, I think, of pouring it in.
Yeah. So
I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. So these would cook. Okay. I mean, you know, obviously with the time limit here, and then we would take this.
They look so good and smell so good.
Yeah. So why don't you do that?
Are you sure you trust me to do this?
Yeah. I'm going to stand back.
Oh no! Should I stand back?
Yeah.
Slowly? Should I drizzle it around?
Just throw it in there.
Just dump it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No need to be easy on them.
No. So we're just going to do this, okay? And I'm going to cook them in the sauce in the oven. So now I would take this and I would put it in the oven. And now I'm going to do another Julia Child thing. By the way, I love Julia. That's why I keep bringing her up. Look at this. This is
so beautiful.
This is how it's going to look after 3 hours in the oven.
Wow.
And they are just so tender. So amazing. By the way, we have some other things here. We have the meatball sliders. We have a pizza.
Yeah, what a great idea. If you did make a big sheet pan, you could do lots of different dinners for the week.
Yeah.
And you have different sliders and stuff at Davio's.
Right. It's not all about spaghetti and meatballs. You know, I know a lot of people like to have pasta with meatballs, but it's actually a great entree just by itself or a great appetizer.
What's your favorite dish to make for guests when they
You're
come?
looking at. Well, I like to make gnocchis. You know, pasta. You know,
which you could also pair with this.
Yeah. So gnocchis and meatballs go really well together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Should we try them?
Yes. Why don't you try one?
Now, I've actually had these a lot of times, so I know I like them. But I love it as an appetizer just because it's a good source of protein too, and you don't really fill up, and you have room for your entree after if you have the appetizer.
Yeah. You know, the great things to share too.
Yeah, totally.
Put a little more cheese on top. Look at that.
Thank you. You really made it perfect. I love it. And you guys do different specials kind of year round too.
Yeah, well, it depends on what time of year. You know, obviously in the fall we'll use white truffles, and then you know, the Nantucket scallops come. Isn't it just so tender? Now, the reason that's so tender again is because of the focaccia crumbs with the milk, right? Making the day before, and then of course after you cook them in the sauce for 3 hours. So those are the three things that I think you just cannot not do.
Yeah.
You know, now, by the way, you can make turkey meatballs. Okay. So
kind of sub out the meat.
Yeah. So use the
depending
dark
on
meat and the white meat to add flavor. You can do chicken meatballs with chicken thighs and chicken breasts. That so it's not always about meat. You can do other kinds of meatballs.
I think those three together, they just really make it a standout meatball.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone loves it.
Yeah. No, it's people just love our meatballs, and it's just something that I never get tired. You know, people always ask me, "What's the favorite thing you eat at Davio's?" And it's still the meatballs that my mother taught me how to make. This is one of the first things I learned how to make when I was a kid.
Wow.
This inspired me to get into the restaurant business, and that's kind of how it all started.
I love it. Her legacy, lives on through these meatballs, and everybody loves them so much when they come in.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, my mom was Portuguese, but my Italian grandmother taught my Portuguese mom how to make these. This is kind of a Di Filippo thing.
Yeah. No, they are absolutely delicious, as is everything at Davio's. Thank you so much, Steve, for sharing the secret recipe to the best meatballs at Davio's. We appreciate it. And guys, go try this at home.
And by the way, I'm Steve at Davios.com if you want the recipe. We'll email me, Tanya.
Oh, awesome.
Together. Yeah, because a lot of people want to know the recipe, and I went really quick with everything.
Yeah.
And if you want the recipe, it's the best way we'll send it to you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Steve, thank you for being here. I'm going to enjoy this meatball, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, thank you.
All right, you heard that. Steve at Davios.com. I know what I'm doing during the break. Still to come on the ReMix, the Toy Fair experience. The new toy is set to hit store shelves this fall, and what kids will be after for Christmas. Toy Fair 2025 is in the books, and we've got to see plenty of cool stuff along the way. Some of the highlights include artificial intelligence toys as developers showed off their latest creations, a snorable companion that persuades children to go to bed. Ooh, parents are going to really like that one. A device that turns drawings into playable video games. Still, even with these high-tech gadgets, one Toy Fair expert says old-fashioned plush and action figures, they were still the stars.
This is the nostalgic wrestlers. This is kind of falling into that kidult trend where adults are loving kids' toys just as much as kids. And this is Remco Powertown. This is their all-star wrestlers. These are wrestlers from the past. So if you were a wrestling fan, they will have the different wrestlers. And it is just a great way. It's a collector's item. If they're kids and they want to play with it, they definitely can. But if you were a fan of wrestling, you'll find your wrestler, you can display it, you can trade it, and they do really cool things with the series that they will come out, and sort of that's, you got to get it when it's there. So it kind of has that demand and that feeling like, oh, I loved this wrestler as a kid, I definitely have to make sure I snag it when it comes out.
Do you think that there's more plush now than there has been in the past? Is that seems like a rising trend?
It definitely feels like a rising trend, and I think it's coming from sort of just people wanting to have something that it feels comfortable, whether it's a little one that's using it as like a lovey for older kids who are collecting them, and even the adults who are really loving the idea of having the plush. So we are seeing it pop up in so many different areas and kind of new and creative ways.
And for an extended look at the Toy Fair and much more content, head to our YouTube channel, CBS News Boston. Now, you know how the saying goes. Time flies when you're having fun. So our time together is done. I'm Courtney Cole. Thank you for joining us on the Remix. We'll be back next week, though, for more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news. See you then.